Hey everyone, and welcome to our video. Storm Agnes has been named earlier today by the UK Mets, and it is due to arrive on Wednesday. So today we're basically going through all the models, the GFS, ECM, UK Mets, GEM, Icon, and ARPEGE. Going through all these models, all out here in the tabs, and we're going through the exact track of Agnes from the models, as well as its wind gust strengths. So we're starting on the GFS run. So this is Wednesday at 3 a.m. Storm Agnes is just poking itself into the very far bottom right corner of the charts to our southwest. 6 a.m. It's inched very close. It's inching slightly closer to Ireland. 9 a.m. it is getting closer. 12 p.m. it is approaching the coastline of South Kerry. At 3 p.m. it centres over Tipperary and Galway, and by 6 p.m. it centres over Northern Ireland. So on this run, the strongest of the winds should be on the south coast and also in the east and in some parts of the Midlands. And in the end, Storm Agnes does move towards Scotland. So the wind gust strengths forecasted by the GFS are as follows. So this is in miles per hour, I believe. And if we go through here, if we go through this way, I think. Thank you. Excuse me. So Wednesday at... Excuse me. I have no idea how that happens. So going through, we see wind strengthening a lot, especially over Munster by 9 a.m. In Munster, widely 50 plus miles per hour, even inland. By midday, wind gusts have transferred widely countrywide. The strongest of the winds on the southern and eastern coasts, between about 55 and 65 miles per hour. That is approximately 90 to 100 kph. A few overlaps here and there. By 3 p.m, very strong winds in East Leinster. Elsewhere, breezy but not overly breezy. And into the nights, by 9 p.m, wind gusts abate to about 45 miles per hour at the strongest. Now, moving on to the ECMWF. So, looking again at the pressure charts. 3 a.m, it is sitting just in the corner of the chart. 6 a.m, 9 a.m, 12 p.m. 12 p.m, very similar to the GFS run, sitting just off the coast of Kerry, South Kerry in particular. But by 3 p.m, differently actually, it's sitting over Limerick. So this way, the strongest winds do extend further inland. So the south coast, east coast, and wide portions of the Midlands will see strong and damaging gusts on Wednesday. And by 6 p.m, it's over Meath and Longford, that sort of area. So that in that way, anywhere south of the line from Dublin to Galway should see strong winds. And by 9 p.m, it's over Antrim, and it's clearing by midnight. And into Thursday, it gets calmer. So there's no wind charts for the ECM from TWO. So we have to resort to windy.com. So this is in kph. So we can see Storm Agnes really powered up to our southwest on Wednesday morning, about 3 a.m. If we went forward, we can see that by lunchtime, some very strong winds are over the south of the country, widely over Connacht, between 70 and 80 miles per hour. Above that in Leinster, east coast, getting towards 80 kilometers per hour, and also in the south, exceeding 100 kph on the south coast. If we keep going, by 3 p.m, wind gusts exceeding 100 kph on the eastern and southern coasts, inland widely above 90 kph. These winds inland would cause damage, and as it's September, trees are in full leaf, the leaves are basically sails on the trees, and they will quite easily drag them down. And winds are very slowly abating into the evening of Wednesday, and into the night they gradually do abate. And by Thursday morning, they're between about 40 kph in the southwest and about 60 kph in the north. This is the UK Met run. So you can see that Wednesday at midnight, the low isn't really there. 6 a.m. is actually quite far away from the Irish coast. 12 p.m. it's very similar to the other models, just off the Kerry coast. But by 6 p.m. it's over South Ulster and North Leinster. Now, I'm just showing you this because a subtle change in the position of that low centre will make a huge difference as to whether one part of the country does bear the brunt of the worst winds, or whether they pass under that centre and manage to escape. This is why I'm showing you these charts, because if this low happens to be like 50 miles further north, a whole lot more of the country will be engulfed by those severe winds. And into Thursday, it clears away. So this is the UKV high-res forecast. We always use this for that 5-day forecast. This is, by the way, linked in with the UK Met model. So to Wednesday morning, wind gusts are quite light, between about 10 and 30 miles per hour, stronger over Munster, over the hills. Now, into Wednesday, look, by 12 p.m, anywhere south of Wicklow to Galway, 57 to 70 miles per hour, 70 miles per hour in Cork and Waterford. 70 miles per hour is 112 kph. So, and 60 miles per hour is 97 kph. This would warrant a yellow warning and possibly an orange warning for the south coast. And if we go forward to 1 p.m, 2 p.m, 3 p.m, the strongest of the winds do extend inland and up the east coast as well, possibly towards Northern Ireland as well. They do have a warning in force as well, Northern Ireland, and some very strong winds up the Irish Sea and grazing the east coast into Wednesday evening, and some further strong winds coming back into Kerry and Cork and Clare possibly towards the end of the evening. And these winds do extend northwards into Connacht and North Leinster by 9 p.m, widely between 50 and 60 miles per hour, between 80 and 96 kph. And these winds actually become quite severe over Donegal and Northern Ireland into Thursday at midnight. 60 to 70 miles per hour for Donegal for Wednesday night, and it gradually clears northwards. The GEM, looking at this, so if we go back to 3 a.m. Wednesday, there we go. The low just gradually pushes in. The GEM has it a bit further south Wednesday at 12 p.m. So if this comes off, I think that wide areas would miss the strongest winds. At 3 p.m, it's still over Cork and Kerry. Look at this. The centre of the low is so much further south on this run compared to the others. And this means that the strongest of the winds will be confined to the south coast, and the most severe winds will be offshore. So, this sort of setting only has the stronger winds coming in at night time, and these winds behind the low are likely to be less severe than those ahead of it and during it. So that would cause a big difference. So if we look at the winds, now obviously, unfortunately, there's no good wind charts for the GEM on TWO, nor is there on Windy, so we're going to have to try and decipher the speeds from the colours. I'm pretty sure this is in knots an hour. I think it is, or kilometers. I think that's in knots or miles. I don't know which, but just keep an eye on the code, the color code here, and we'll run through it. So if we go into Wednesday, you can see that the center of the low is marked by that blue shading here. That means that the winds are pretty much calm there. And the strong winds, this core, there are some strong winds up the east coast, also into the East Midlands, but the very strong winds here are kept offshore. That is because the low is about 50 to 100 miles further southwards than all the other models have it. This is why I'm showing you this chart here. The strongest winds do sort of clip the southeast coast, but they don't get too far inland, and the low clears away into Thursday. This is the icon, so this is the run. So Thursday, Wednesday at 3 a.m. We see the low coming towards us. Again, I think that is in line with all the models bar the GEM, and actually know something. It lies between the GEM and all the other models. That has it between the two tracks, if it makes sense. So by 3 p.m. it's over Tipperary, so anywhere east possibly, and south of that getting severe winds. 6 p.m. it's over Dublin, Meath, Louth. So by that stage, the South Country is bearing the brunt of the storm, and it clears away into Thursday morning. This is the Icons wind gust map from TWO. So this is in miles per hour. So by Wednesday at 9 a.m, South Coast sees 50 mile an hour gusts, 80 kph. Okay, so the icon has a deeper low forming, and a core of very strong winds forms off the coast, 80 to 102 miles per hour. Isolated but severe. Not on offshore but severe. And by 3 p.m, like the East Midlands, South Midlands, and the East and South Coast, between 50, 55, and 71 miles per hour. Very strong winds there. And we go into Thursday, and they only gradually ease. Now, as I said, the icon does actually have the low a bit further south than quite a few of the models. So, if this were to happen on the other models, this would be a bit further north, and these strong winds would be edging into the Midlands as well. The AEPEGE, like this. So the hover on, the picture of hover is already on. So this is Wednesday morning. The storm is approaching Ireland. Now that has a further north than the icon and GEM. So that goes through Clare towards Northern Ireland, and that brings the Midlands some strong winds as well, I think, and that continues into the nights. Finally, the AEPEGE winds gusts. If we go through it, Wednesday 8 a.m. This is in miles per hour, I'd say. We keep going in towards lunchtime, and you can see that the strong winds are much further inland on this one, like in this sort of shape instead of the others. Anyway, we see widespread gusts of 50 to 70 miles per hour, stronger on the south coast, and the sway of severe winds does clip the south coast into the afternoon. This area of strong winds does go far inland, so even in land areas, 50 to 65 miles per hour is possible into Wednesday evening before the whole system clears northwards. So as you can see, a whole lot of weather coming in Wednesday. Keep up to date with the warnings. Keep up to date here, because if anything happens, I will let you know through a video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.